All right, everybody, welcome to the Czabecast. Zabe, Scott Lynn, Al Galdi here, Low Def behind the glass. Let's talk Cincinnati Bengal football, shall we? How are they doing? They just signed Tank Johnson, Scott.
Yes, they did.
Tank Johnson is an interesting fella, as we'd like to say. Has had a few incidents in his past, and
he's a nice kid.
Nice kid. Got a little trouble, had a lot of guns.
Got incarcerated?
He did get incarcerated.
A misunderstanding.
Now,
Still a defensive tackle, still in the National Football League, still staying out of trouble for the most part or wholly for the last 2 seasons.
In fact, he stayed so much out of trouble, Galdi, that he nary tackled a ball carrier.
That's right.
While playing for the Cowboys.
He had 33 tackles in the last 2 seasons, as well as 3 sacks.
33 tackles, 3 sacks in 2 full seasons.
That's
with the
like
Cowboys.
one a game, a tackle a game.
Remember, the Cowboys loved him so much that they actually still signed him when he was serving his 8-game suspension.
Right.
So that must have meant, pardon me, at the time the market was so hot and heavy for him that you would go out and go, I got to be the first to get this guy.
Terry is a good player. We don't want to let other teams.
But it's the idea not that he got signed, but that Cincinnati has signed him.
Well, and that's ironic. Why, Galdi?
Because they've had this trouble, off-the-field trouble for years, and you think about, well, they're trying to rehab their image, right?
Years.
Well, no.
The most recent
Months.
stat is 10 arrests in a 14-month span.
And they re-signed Chris Henry and the running back, what's his name?
Cedric Benson.
Within the last
Benson
month
was
or year.
Clear to that Texas boating stuff.
Cedric
Leave
Benson
him
is
be.
still a piece of and you know it.
They had Odell Thurman, who had a lot of stuff going on, and then finally,
Yeah,
whatever.
they've had
These guys
thugs.
he's not very good either.
They have had, right, they have had the most checkered, playmakers-esque roster in the league by far. Only exacerbated, I believe, by the small fishbowl nature of Cincinnati, Ohio, a very conservative, small Midwest town where you can't roll around as a Bengal player without being noticed by about everyone in town.
Yep.
So they signed Tank Johnson, this after doing a U-turn on Chris Henry. They got rid of House Schmazzilli, championship, and they've got the pouting Ocho Cinco. And now they got Carson Palmer not talking to Ocho Cinco, who's not showing up for offseason workouts. Marvin Lewis is still the head coach for reasons that escape me. Head coach coaching just because the owner's too cheap to fire him.
Right. And while Chad is
pay
still
two
not,
guys at once.
Chad's still employed there, still not talking to whomever for whatever reason, and may be happy, may be unhappy, what have you. You open up pretty much any newspaper that has an NFL team that may be looking for a wide receiver, and it'll have a little tidbit, a little nugget saying, could the blanks be interested in Chad Ocho Cinco? And you'll find 10 articles today if you Google them up.
They had they just have no hope there when you think about it.
And look at the division they play in, too.
Oh, God, talk about no hope.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Baltimore, forget about it. So if you're a Bengal fan, I don't know what to say other than just don't let Tank Johnson babysit your kids.
Right, or
you will likely be disappointed in the service that he's able to render.
Right, or don't let him into your gun closet. And if he says he wants to put it in order, keep him away.
Remember when his bodyguard was shot and killed
on the dance floor
at a club?
Yeah.
After all of this happened with Tank. This wasn't like
this when he was with the Bears. Yeah. He went out to a club. His bodyguard was murdered, and then he got over that by going back to the clubs in violation of the team's request a week later. Can't stay out of the clubs, but hey, he's all yours, Cincinnati.
Of late, clean. No off-field problems with Dallas.
Oh, really? Well, what do you want for that, Scott?
Some sort of a treat, perhaps?
A cookie, maybe? He's been clean for a couple months.
A couple years.
Congratulations.
So is OJ. He hasn't done anything in months here.
That's because he's in jail.
Well,
all right. Good job, Bengals. You remain the laughingstock of the league. We'll see you next time.